students. Today in this session we are going to recite and analyze an interesting poem titled All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. Before we start with the poem, I'll just brief you about the poet. William Shakespeare was a poet and dramatist. He lived during the reign of Queen Elizabeth of England. He is universally acknowledged as one of the greatest dramatists of all times. His famous works are A Midsummer Night's Dream, As You Like It, The Merchant of Venice, Twelfth Night, and tragedies such as Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth, King Lear. Now this poem, children, is not actually a poem, you can say. It is a dialogue taken from Shakespeare's famous comedy As You Like It. And this dialogue has been uttered by one of the character named Jax. And this character is in the play here, you can say, was a cynical philosopher. Means the person who likes to comment more on negative aspects of life and the world. So here in this dialogue he has told us that the human life is of 7 stages, or you can say 7 phases. A human life or the lifespan of a human being is divided into 7 stages or 7 phases. Here all those phases has been discussed in the poem, or you can say described in the poem. We are going to see that. And this poem, children, mainly you can say it is a metaphorical poem where the poet has compared human beings to the characters of the play and life as a play. Means here he wants to say here that world is a stage where human beings are the characters and they are playing the role given by them or given to them as a character in the play. So let's start with the poem here. All the world's a stage. All the world's a stage. Here it means the poet wants to say the world, or the poet has compared the world to a stage. How for a drama to be enacted, a stage is ready where all the characters come, they have their entrances, they have their exit, and they play their role, say their dialogue and go away from the stage. In the same way, here the poet wants to tell us that the world is also a stage. So the poet has compared world to a stage. And all the men and women merely players. And here he wants to say that the men and women means human beings in the world, they are the players, or they are the characters of the play. Here the poet has compared human beings to the characters of the play. They have their exits and their entrances. Means here he wants to say how in the play the characters, they come on the stage and they go away from the stage after saying their dialogue or playing their role. They just go away from the stage. So in the same way here he wants to say that human beings also, they have their entrances and their exits. Entrances here means what? They come, a child being born, when he comes into this world, is his entrance here into the world. And exits here means what? When the person dies and he goes away from this world. So it is the exit from the stage, exit from the world here you can say. And one man in his time plays many parts, and he's saying in the time span, in the span of time when the person is here in this world, from this entrance to exit here, in that particular time span he plays many parts, he plays many roles here. Human being plays many roles here, he wants to say. His acts being 7 ages, means here the poet is further telling us the roles which he plays in this world, from him being born till his death. The role he plays in this world, the poet has divided into 7 phases or 7 ages or 7 stages you can say. So the first stage is, at the first the infant mewling and pucking in the nurse arm. Now first stage is of infant, when the child is born. What happens here? when the child is born, he cries a lot. He does not want to be in the nurse's arm. He wanted to be in the comfort of his mother here. So here the first stage is of a child, an infant here who doesn't know anything. Now he is in the care of the nurse or the mother, you can say, who takes all responsibilities of the child. Means changing the clothes, feeding the child, making the child sleep, when the child cries, to look after him and all. So child doesn't have to bother about anything. Here everything is taken care of by the mother or the nurse, you can say. So the child mewling and pucking means what? Crying. Yeah. And then the winning school boy with his satchel. Now satchel here means school bag here. When the small child, now afterwards what happened? When he grows up little, when he is 3 or 4 years old, so he is ready to go to the second phase of the life, that is of a school boy here. Means here this boy is also crying. Winning school boy means what? He is also crying. He is not at all interested to learn something, because he knows when he starts learning here, when he starts getting education, what will happen? New responsibilities will come into his life and he will lose his childhood. Means here as a small child, as an infant, now child doesn't have to bother about anything, doesn't have to look after anything, he doesn't have any responsibility or work to do. But when he enters to the second phase of life, that is of a school boy here, so new responsibilities come onto him, that he has to learn, he has to write, he has to be well mannered, he has to do his homework on his time. So all these new responsibilities will come in his life. So for that reason, what happened? He doesn't want that change in his life. Now, if you all remember, if you must have seen the younger ones in your house, when the first day of the school, when they are going to school, that time they cry. They are very reluctant here. They don't want to go to school. So here in the same way, for he is saying the second phase of the life is of a school boy who is also crying with his satchel here, with his school bag. He doesn't want to go to school. And shining morning face. Shining morning face means what? This boy is not at all interested to go to school and learn. So he doesn't want to get up in the morning, get ready for the school. And everything is done by mother here. Mother may brushes his teeth, mother makes him take bath, dresses him up and gets him ready for the school, feeds him the breakfast and all. So he is very well dressed up in a school uniform, nicely combed hair, with a school bag and all on his shoulder. He is nicely dressed. So here the poet is saying shining morning face, means he is well dressed and he is ready for the school. But this boy is very reluctant. He doesn't want to go. Creeping like a snail, means how a snail, he creeps very slowly. In the same way, the boy is not at all energetic, or he is not at all willing to go to school. So that for that reason he is creeping like a snail. He is walking very slowly. He is very unwilling to go to school. He doesn't want to go to school. And the third phase of life. Now third phase of life is of a lover here. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad. Now third phase of life is of a lover who sighs like a furnace. Sighing like a furnace here, you can say, children, means to be full of sighs and heart attacks. Means if the person expresses a love for his beloved, but the beloved doesn't respond positively, she is not at all interested, so the lover feels very bad. So because of that, he is feeling very painful in his heart. He is not at all happy. So here he is saying sighing like a furnace, you can say, means how when a fireplace, when the fireplace is there and it is lit up, so it generates smoke. In the same way, what happened? The lover's heart is full of pain and sadness. So because of that, what happened? When he breathes out, it is like a heavy air coming from his mouth. So here that is why the poet is saying sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad. Woeful ballad, here you can say a song sung out of pain and mourning. Means he is very sad within his heart that the lover has not accepted his, the beloved has not accepted his love. So in that painful, with that painful heart, he is singing a song for his beloved. Made to his mistress eyebrow. Made to his mistress eyebrow means what? He is just singing this song for his beloved to realize that he really loves her, and he is singing in praise of the beauty of his beloved here. And he wants the beloved, he always wants the beloved to look at him. After that, the fourth stage here you can say, then a soldier. Now fourth stage is of a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard. Now here the fourth stage is of a soldier. The lover has become a matured person now. Now he has taken strange oaths. Means what? Where these soldiers, they go to unknown land there. When they go to the unknown places there, unknown land there, they take the oath there that they will look after this place. They are abided by you can say the rules here. They will not at all you can cheat the land here, cheat the people of the country and all. So they take all the you can say they take oaths there when they go to the unknown land, and they really very, you can say, honestly and dedicatedly, they patriotically, they serve the country. And bearded like the pard means the soldier, he is bearded like the pard. Now pard here means a leopard here. Actually it means a leopard, but here it should be a lion. How a lion is bearded, in the same way the poet has compared the you can say the soldier with the pard here. Like he is also bearded, he wants to say. Jealous in honor here, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation. Jealous in honor here, you can say he is trying to preserve his honor when under the threat. Means whatever happens here, he is ready to give up his life, he is ready to sacrifice his life for the sake of his country, to safeguard the people of his country here. He doesn't want to anyone to just try to harm the honor of his country. So he is jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel. Means if he finds then someone is trying to threaten or there is threat for his country or countrymen, he is ready to fight against them. He is sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation. Seeking the bubble reputation means what? He wants to achieve name and fame under all circumstances here. Though he knows the fame is very short-lived and the life he is living is a very risky life, he never knows that what will happen at next moment. Still he wants to safeguard the country and the countrymen. Even in the cannon mouth and then the justice. Even in the cannon mouth means it signifies in the presence of immense and immediate danger. Means in the battlefield also he is not fearful about his life. He is ready to give life for the sake of his country. And he really wants to be he really wants the people to know that he is always there to safeguard them. After that, the other stage is of the justice. In fair round belly with good cap on line. Means then the next stage is of the justice. Justice means what? It signifies a judge or a member of the jury. Means it refers to the stage of a man when he has become wise. Here in this stage the man becomes wise and has become learned, and he is able to judge what is right and wrong. So justice signifies that. In fair round belly with good cap on line. In fair round belly here signifies protruding stomach of a person here. See, fair round belly signifies protruding stomach of the person. It makes it you can say signifies, or it tells us that this jury or this man has he is very rich and wealthy person. He has accumulated has lot of wealth which he has accumulated by unfair means, you can say here. After that, with good cap and line. Cap and line. Cap and here means meat of the bird. And cap and line here you can say here it means the member of the jury, he is fed on good meat of a bird, and that's why he has grown a prosperous, or you can say protruding belly. Means he is living a very luxurious life. He has lot of money, property, he eats lot of meat and all. So it signifies, it tells you, the round belly tells you everything about it. With eyes severe and beard of formal cut. With eyes severe and beard of formal cut, it tells you that this man is about become more matured person now here, and this man has a formal cut. How the juries at that time, they had a formal cut and beard. In the same way, this man is also having, full of wise saws and modern instances. Wise saws means what? Wise sayings. Now this person has become more mature now, so he knows, he tells you or gives decisions with wise sayings. And modern instances means he has examples to give you all. When the judge he is giving any decision, whenever he is giving any decision, he refers it with examples with proofs and all, which are there to give, ready to give examples here. He has seen lot in his life. He has a lot of experience. So whenever he is giving decisions or wherever he is saying something, he gives example instantly. So he plays his part, and in this way it gives his decision. The sixth age shifts into lean and slippered pantaloon. Now, sixth age refers to the stage when the prosperous or the wealthy looking justice or the wealthy looking man, he loses his weight and has shrunk in size. He has become lean. He has become weak now here. He has become thin. So here you can say that this man is now wearing slippers in a casual and lethargic fashion now. Now first we have seen he is wearing nice clothes and all, he is having formal cut and all. But now he is wearing, you can say, slippers and casual dress, and he is not at all bothered about fashion now. He has become weak, he has become thin. With spectacles on nose and pouch on his side. Means it refers that this person, as the eyesight of the person is also become weak, so he is wearing spectacles, and pouch on his side refers to the shrunk stomach, which is now hangs loose on one side due to sagging muscles, and after the person has lost his weight. So he has become very weak now. The protruding stomach has also gone now, and he really got a shrunk stomach now. His youthful hose well saved a world to wide. Means his youthful hose here you can say when the person is in his young age. At that time the person is very energetic. The person speaks very loudly, and here in the youthful hose here means the person's hose. Means now the dress you can say here in the Elizabethan time, the men used to dress in hose and gaiters. So here you can say the youthful hose means what? When the man was young. So that time the hose which he used to wear at that time, now it has become loose because he is become weak now. See here, his youthful hose well saved a world to wide, means it is good in condition still now, but for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. Means shrunk shank here you can say now the person has lost weight now, so it is not fitting him. So though it is good in condition now, but it has become loose for his legs, which has become shrunk due to the age now. Now he is becoming old day by day, and the voice has become weak now. turning age toward childish treble and pipes. Means now it refers to the voice. Yes, the voice here, the man, a man when he was young, he had a very powerful voice here. But now what happened? This voice has now become treble, childlike treble here. Means here the person, when the child, when he starts speaking here, we don't understand what the child is saying. So in the same way, now this man has become weak now. He is growing old day after day. So we don't know what is trying to say here. We don't understand what he's saying. Now, yeah, pipe refers to when the pipe is being played, when the pipe is there in the mouth of the person. So it gives a whistling sound. In the same way, when this man, when he has turned old, so what happened? When he's speaking, the vocal cord has become very weak, so it gives a whistle sound. And we don't understand what the person, the old man, is trying to say here. And whistles in a sound. So we don't understand what he wants to say. And the last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history means, and the last stage now comes in his life. And here the poet is saying that all the stages are eventful history now. One after the other, the stages are coming very quickly, and the entire scene of his life is changing here. Earlier, when the man, first the person, when he comes into this world, he's a child here who is looked after by mother or nurse. He doesn't have to do anything. Then of a school boy, then of a lover, then of a soldier, then a jury, then a old man, and then the last stage here it comes that he has become very weak now, is second childishness. Now this last stage of his life is again a stage of childishness, where he has to be looked after by someone. He can't do anything on his own. Earlier when the child is born, that time also the child cannot do anything on his own. He had to be looked after. Same thing here now. This old age refers to the second childishness here, where the person cannot do anything. He has to be looked after by the family members here. Mere oblivion. Mere oblivion here means what? Total forgetfulness or death here. Means he doesn't know what is going on. Only he is breathing. He doesn't know what is anyone is someone who near to him, they are speaking, what they are telling him, what he has to do, nothing. He cannot do anything on his own. He is merely you can say a body which can't do anything on its own, and he has to be dependent on the other family members. It is like death only, children. Only the the person is breathing, but he cannot do anything on his own. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Means now this last stage is that it refers to the fact that the human life has come to decline now. The person has lost his mental ability. He can't do it. He cannot understand anything what others are saying. There are no teeth in his mouth. The eyesight has become weak, or he has lost the eyesight totally. He cannot, if the person puts anything on his tongue, food or water, he cannot taste it, he cannot understand it. He has lost everything. All his ability is lost now. Means it is death now. Nothing, he cannot feel anything. He cannot feel anything. All senses are gone here. So this is the last stage of life. So here, children, we can see William Shakespeare has very beautifully or very nicely, he has shown us the fact of the life here. Now we all as human beings, we never think about life so deeply here. We are so busy in life, or we are so you can say engrossed in our life, running or trying to achieve name and fame in life, but we don't know the fact of the life here, that at the end what happens with us here. We all are human beings, and we all have to go through all the stages of life. Here you can say this poem is like an eye-opener for everyone here. I hope you have understood the poem. Just go through once again and try to understand it nicely. And in my next lecture, I'll discuss question answers with you all. Thank you.